report.
Thank you so much. And so now we will entertain the superintendent's recommendation for approval of the agenda.
Yes, ma'am, I'd like to recommend the board's approval of the agenda in front of you for August 20, 2020.
Okay, so we have a recommendation for approval of the agenda, of course, which includes a revised personnel report. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Agenda is unanimously approved. Next item is the approval of minutes and payroll.
Ma'am, I'd like to approve the minutes and payroll from July 30th, 2020, the regular scheduled meeting, and then the August 10, 2020 special call.
Thank you for that recommendation. For the approval of those minutes, may I have a motion? Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed is nay. Minutes and payroll approved. And item 4 is our report of fundraising drives and request for use of school bus, which actually we have no request of use of school bus, but it is an informational item. And so we will move on to the superintendent's report.
Ma'am, just really brief tonight, I'd like to say that there's an enormous amount of professional development going on, both in our schools and virtually. Our teachers are very hard at work. Matthew can attest to this, as he's had to help us with the virtual components, getting accustomed to and integrated and knowledgeable of schools PLP, which is a challenge. We have a lot of obstacles to overcome there as we prepare to use that platform for education. Teachers are warming up to it, but there is a tremendous learning curve. I believe that everyone will agree with that. There are some concerns with it. They're finding little things that don't match in regard to the state course of study. Also with policy that we will have to address as well in regards to the amount of grades that schools PLP, major grades, minor grades, is part of our policy. I did remind you today that the board had previously given me some leeway to suspend some policies, but we're trying to work that out so that we don't have to. But if we do, we just have to, because school PLP is our choice for instruction. I'm really excited to say that Ms. Lisa there, of course, she has been slammed with the GEARS funding, CARES funding, so many different pots of money that she's having to deal with, and Brandy can attest to it as well. As Brandy is like some days pulling her hair out because of the different pots of money she's having to deal with and keeping us all straight with the spending. But aside from that, which is a challenge in itself, under Ms. Adair's direction, our schools, Georgia, Greenville High School's 21st Century Grant was approved. That's $103,000 for 3 years, which is great. W. Palmer, $108,000 for 3 years. And then Greenville Elementary has 2 years remaining at $92,000 a year. When you look at that, plus the fact that Greenville Middle School is a CSI school for school improvement, they have additional funds as well. What this means to everyone, remember, Georgiana already has this, and Kenzie has this. So every kid in our school district has access to after-school tutoring at no charge now for the next several years. So we're excited about that. That's a big deal. Because many children who needed it were not able to participate because families were not able to afford that tuition. So that's a great thing, and I'm excited about that. That's basically my report for tonight.
Okay. I noticed that included in the packet is a certificate of appreciation for the board for outstanding commitment and dedication in providing meals to Alabama children during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I would like to confer that upon the superintendent and his administration and principals and schools that have done such an outstanding job over the summer with that, and with just everything that you've done over the summer. It's been a summer like none of us have ever known
Go
before.
look at the 3 staff members out here they were all in this building distributing food
Yeah,
throughout the summer, so it was a great undertaking, but we pulled it off well.
yes, and we truly thank you for that. Okay, then, so our next item on the agenda is the financial report.
Yes, ma'am. I recommend for your approval, the financial statement for June 2020 and approval of the reconciled bank statement for June 2020.
Okay, so we have that recommendation for approval of those financial reports as noted by the superintendent. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, all right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposes, nay. Financial reports have been approved. Item 7 is our personnel report.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to recommend for your approval the revised 8/19/2020 personnel report that was provided for you.
Okay, so,
I would like to point out one item, item 9, that's highlighted, one of the new ones that we were able to find a social worker. Another grant, Ms. Adair, wrote and was funded with $40,000 for this position, so we're excited about that as well.
I'm excited about that too, and she'll probably be extremely busy.
Yes,
I would
Yeah,
also look at Mr. Allen, talk about education being family business. I see that we have one coming back, his dad is a co-chair. That will be employed through high school. 90s? What's on this? That is, through the 90s? Coach Allen? Good coach? Yeah.
okay, so we have before us the revised personnel report that the superintendent is recommending we approve. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Okay, are there any questions? We have a couple of comments, all right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposes, nay. And I know that we're live, correct? So I'd just like to say congratulations to our new hires that might be listening in to tonight's meeting. And also congratulations to those who are retiring. Thank you so much for your job to the school system. All righty. And so our next item on the agenda is the approval of policy revisions.
yes, ma'am. We have 2 policy revisions. Both of these were sent out to our policy committee through via email for response and review. No one responded with any concerns. I'd like to say that the supervision of low-risk juvenile sex offenders is straight from the Alabama Department of Education. Developed policy, we just adopted it as our own and put our name on it. The second policy revision is basically a law the legislature set into place, changing the years of service in a board member's elected board member from 6 years to 4 years.
Okay.
So I do recommend your approval of these revisions.
All right, so we have before us a recommendation for approval of those 2 policy revisions for the low-risk juvenile sex offenders and for the election of board members, the term being changed from 6 years to 4, as well as the way we actually elect our chairman or president of the board. So may I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
And this was because we had to change to 4 years, simply because Alabama law changed.
I'm sorry?
Just for anybody who's watching, we're changing from 6 to 4 to follow recent changes in Alabama law, which I think the governor signed
Right.
April or May of this year.
And that is effective with this new term that begins in November.
Yes.
All right, so all in favor of this revision? May I hear an aye?
Aye.
Any opposes, nay? None, that is approved as well. Mr. Hamilton is not here, and Hopefully you all have read your notes, and so that is the only legal update that we have. All right, and so that being the final thing on our agenda, may I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
If you are in favor, you may stand and be dismissed. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next meeting on September 1st. I believe it's 5 o'clock on September 1st.
Come back and all that's all.
Budget amendment. Okay.
Michael and he both have them on the plane.
All right. Better get over there, Daddy.
All righty.